I am Joey Goldstein.
Oh,
Yes.
so we're on Ridin The Bus.
Yeah.
Pour one out for Joey
So the one we're
Goldstein.
doing with Lambos, is that Ridin The Bus?
It is.
You're either on the bus or you're off the bus.
Welcome aboard episode 48 of Ridin the Bus, the official Iowa Wild podcast presented by Central Iowa Pool and Spa is on the way. It is our first episode since the departure of Joey Goldstein, but don't worry, the podcast is in great hands. Sitting to my right today, for the first time ever, not recording in Des Moines, for the first time ever without Joey Goldstein as a member of the podcast, Luke Toporowski, Caedan Bankier, the opening two of what should be a rotation of guest hosts that we have coming your way the rest of this season. And guys, as we start, thanks for doing this. We have a great segment later on coming our fans' way as well. But did you ever think you would be co-hosts of a podcast?
Me and my brother actually talked about it, like growing up, or like when podcasts started becoming a thing. I don't know when that was, but we always talked about maybe when our playing careers were done, we'd get into it. But he's not much of a like a screen guy or like a chatterbox like I am. But I don't know. It's not bad.
That's why you're a good fit. Banks, what do you think?
No. I never thought I would be on a podcast or co-hosting it, but here we are, and I'm going to roll with it here for the foreseeable future.
Here we are indeed, and we are in Grand Rapids recording this an off day after a win on Friday night. This team will play again on Sunday. By the time this episode comes out, hopefully the Wild are victors of 2 games in Grand Rapids. But for you guys, for me, this is obviously uncharted waters, and we talked about this idea of having you guys have your own segment, essentially. Little did we know we would be looking for a podcast host, so thus you two have been thrust into duty here for this episode. But as you guys remember it, how did the beginning of this conversation start where we decided, let's have you guys on and have your own segment, which, of course, we'll be hearing from later on when you guys sit down with Carson Lambos, and I completely remove myself from in front of the camera.
Yeah, it started when we came on the radio to talk about the game and the coming up night, and it just kind of worked out. Me and Topper probably had maybe the best conversation we've ever had in our entire life. So it looked really good on us, and we'll take it. No guarantees moving forward that it's going to be that clean, but you came up with the idea to have us, kind of co-host a podcast, and we were both kind of intrigued and excited about that idea, and we were all game for it.
We're looking for a segment name. Is there anything floating around in that wizardry podcast mind of yours?
I don't know.
You spent all those years with your brother talking.
I don't know.
You don't even have a name.
I don't know. On the road, but that's like, we need something more clever.
Seems a little generic.
Like maybe I don't know, fans could tweet in or comment on Facebook or give their insights, give us a recommendation, or maybe even just when we're on the bus or hanging out, we'll try to come up with a name. But yeah, nothing off the top of my head right now.
The idea of this whole thing is the goal of Ridin the Bus, the podcast. You guys have been on it now. Your third appearance. I know you were giving Topper a little grief about this being only his second appearance on the podcast. But the whole idea is to put fans next to you guys on the bus. So I think the idea that we all had was, what a better way to do it than to remove the one outsider from the equation, me. And if this is a player podcast, what a better way to make you guys as comfortable as possible than to take me out of the equation. I'm going to be sitting behind the camera when we get to this next segment, and I'm going to be watching and likely laughing a lot and trying not to laugh out loud so the microphone picks it up. But what do you guys have in store? What should Carson Lambos be prepared for, and what should fans be prepared for in this upcoming segment?
I think it'll be interesting. We're going to throw it back probably to our Western League days a little bit. Lambo has been pretty interested in the sewer ball rankings, so we might bring that up and his thoughts on that. And he didn't have the greatest performance last game, so we might bring that up as well. And we got a little couple extra stuff that got to keep the viewers
Maybe
on their
just some
toes.
questions that we can all answer and check in on who's roommates with who and what we do in our downtime, and I don't know, just have some conversation.
I can only imagine Carson Lambos might have a few of those patented would you rather questions maybe dialed up for you guys, because that's already reared its head again after we featured it a couple of times in the broadcast last season. He and Sammy Walker come up with these just incredible scenarios. Maybe he's got a few stewing up in his mind. Before we get to that segment, whatever we're going to call it, let's talk about the status of the team. Obviously, October is gone. It's dead. It's buried. November has been a much better month for this team. Luke, you come back into the lineup. You've been scoring seemingly almost 50% of the shots you've taken, I believe, have gone in so far this year. And this has been a team that has had a lot of success. Banks, you've been chipping in on the helper category quite a bit as of late, facilitating with your stick. Why has the offense started to show up for this team? And Topper, you can't just say because you got back in the lineup.
I think we have really good balance. I think we have 4 lines that can go, unlike maybe some other teams. I think even yesterday we played 5-on-5 for almost all the games, or the whole game, sorry, and we just rotated all 4 lines, and we just come in waves, and at some point that's going to wear teams down. And I mean, the last 6 minutes of the game, you kind of saw us net 3 quick ones, and that just kind of shows if we stay patient, stay with our game, and stay 5-on-5, we know we can eventually pull through and be pretty dominant in the offensive zone.
Banks, you're a power play guy. Topper, you're a power play guy, but you bring up playing 5-on-5. Obviously, power play is where you can get a lot of your points and you can score a lot. Both of you do that. But illuminate for our fans a little bit of why a game that has so many penalties, like the one we saw last Saturday against Texas, it can throw up your rhythm a little bit. It can throw off your rhythm a little bit. Why does it do that? Even though you guys obviously enjoy being on the power play, but yet those games can be a little bit clunky at times.
Yeah, it's so. Say you have 2 units, you got 10 guys on the ice. Well, the other guys aren't playing over that time period. Same with the penalty kill. If you keep taking penalties, they're not getting the same rhythm. They're out of sorts. They haven't played as much, and then when they're out there, it's their first shift and however long, and it's hard to build a rhythm like that. So you gotta stay 5-on-5. I think that's where we're most deadly, and because when we're rolling, we're pretty hard to stop, as you could have seen last night. And I think it's you don't want to be like selfish. You want to get everyone into the game because everyone deserves to play. You're all here for a reason, and if you are thrust into a PK or power play role, you want to make the most of your chances because we got a lot of guys that could play anyone's role.
As we get set for this upcoming segment, let's close the loop on the team right now. What are some of the things that you think, if the Iowa Wild can figure this part out, can get this part clicking on all cylinders? Because we've seen so much of why this team can be very successful and it can be a very difficult team to play against. What are maybe 2 to 3 things that, if you guys can get this really rocking in the right direction, it could be a freight train that's hard to stop?
Well, I think you saw it last night. I know we talk about 5-on-5 a lot, but like, if we stay out, we took no penalties last night. If we stay out of the box, I think it just goes to show like how dominant we are 5-on-5. I don't know what the number is. When I think we were taking 6, 7, 8 penalties a game for a couple games, maybe a little bit less than that, and it just kills you. Like, especially like a guy like me, like I'm not on the PK. And like Banks was talking about, it just throws off the rhythm. So if we can clean up our PK or our penalty taking and just stay 5-on-5, or when we do get power plays, I think that'll really make us a dominant force.
Anything to add to that, Caedan?
Perfect, as always.
Wow.
From the hybrid.
Wow. You guys are good at this. I thought that you would be good at it, but for really your first time, it must be a little bit different being in, not that I'm not interviewing you guys, but it must be a little bit different being in the hosting seat, because you feel like you almost have to come up with some stuff organically as opposed to just this question and response answer that you're used to doing, right?
I know. I'm a little bit nervous. You are setting us up with questions. when Carson gets in here, I don't know how I'm going to be at setting him up with questions. But
I can't wait for the awkward pauses. I think that's going to be maybe some of the best part of the segment is the fact that
don't judge. This is our our first one. So
cut us some slack.
No slack needed, guys. I'm looking forward to this. With that, I'm going to step away, and we're going to head into period 2. And for the first time in Ridin the Bus history, Ben Gislason, Joey Goldstein will not be involved in this upcoming segment. Guys, good luck.
Oh,
thank you.
We're going to need it.
We'll need
it. Yeah.
Here comes Carson Lambos and a segment that doesn't have a name yet with Caedan Bankier and Luke Toporowski.
All right, welcome back to period 2. We are joined now by Carson Lambos. But before we get into all the good stories we're about to have in store for you, we got a Joey Goldstein ad read from Central Iowa Pool and Spa. Transform your backyard into a tropical oasis with a radiant pool from Central Iowa Pool and Spa. Our customizable designs offer endless possibilities for creating a unique and stunning aquatic feature. Whether you prefer a sleek, modern look or a classic free-form design, we can bring your vision to life. Our expert installation team will handle every aspect of the process from excavation to finishing touches. Enjoy the beauty and versatility of a radiant pool in your own backyard. Call us at 515-263-6900 or stop in. And text cut out. So I don't know what the bottom half of that text is going to say, but hey, Central Iowa Pool and Spa.
That was crisp.
That was crisp. Now, Winnipeg Ice legend, Carson Lambos.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is period 2, so what's period 3? Is there more after this?
Don't worry about that. We'll get into that later. Okay?
The up for debate bottom half sewer ball player on the team. I might be in there as well. Carson, let's talk about your performance yesterday, especially.
Well, yeah. Usually when the ball is kicked to or around me, I actually try and get it, which might result in being out sometimes, and that's fine. I can accept if you want to put me in the bottom half for at least trying to get the ball. Our sewer circle is embarrassing.
Should we talk about
it is a bit corrupt.
Should we talk about what sewer ball is first?
Yeah, I mean,
for
some
the
people,
fans.
some people might not know.
Yeah, okay, throw that out there.
So part of our warm-up, before we get dressed and go on the ice for warm-ups to the fans, is we kind of play two-touch with a soccer ball. We're all in a circle, also called sewer ball because you might try to sewer the guys that are in the circle and get them out. But basically, last one standing is your champion. And we play a few of those before we get dressed on the ice, just to get warm and get loose and have some fun and try to relax a little bit before a 2.5 hour game where we're pretty focused.
Yeah. I mean, I've been at the bottom half of the rankings before last year, Lamb. There was a lot of debate about me and Mikey. But I think we went to the drawing board this summer and we improved our game.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you did.
I didn't play last year, so this is like...
So your rookie year.
I'm like within, what are we, 15 games in this year?
Yeah.
Like this is your rookie year for soccer.
I haven't won yet, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
I got my first career win last night, so.
I heard there were guys saying on the bus today admitting to not trying for balls because they know you can't win when you try, which is it's true.
Fair.
It's true.
It's
like
fair.
when you sell out, you know you're getting out sometimes. Yeah, my game is sporadic. I bring some energy to the circle, and I don't just lob balls up. I like to attack guys, and if that results in me being out, I can sleep at night knowing that happened.
Did you play in Winnipeg?
Yeah, I would play like 1 or 2 games in Winnipeg usually. So I think I have I have no left foot. As soon as it comes to my left foot, I'm out.
Yeah.
Now
That's a weakness. Target that.
me and Caedan, thank you for joining
Yeah, thanks for
on your off day in Grand Rapids. We see you have a nice.
It's not an off day. We had practice this morning.
an off day for games.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can I throw it out there that I felt very uncomfortable that you called me Caedan? I've known you for a
Well-
long time, and that was the first time you've ever called me Caedan.
Banks.
Yeah,
the
thank you.
bank.
Yeah.
What did you bring us? Or not bring us? What did you bring yourself? And thank you for offering to bring us a coffee.
Just an iced coffee this morning, or not morning, it's this afternoon. But
what's your go-to order?
Usually honestly, I'm having just a coffee with 1 cream and 1 sugar. But if I'm gonna go for a cup in the afternoon, something a little sweeter, kind of like a dessert after lunch.
So what is it?
It's just an iced coffee, and they make it. I guess they put some syrup in there. I think.
Like what's vanilla?
Yeah,
I think
like
it's just.
caramel.
I think it's just sugar syrup.
Oh, that's
just-
good for you.
Yeah.
Just a couple pumps, just like 2 pumps.
Yeah. I don't
Is
know.
Is that what you do? You do a pregame coffee as well?
Yeah, but that's just like I said, just a little bit of cream and sugar in that one. Keep it a bit more healthy than
Okay.
what this
We got a
is.
double order of nothing, me and you right now. But
What's
it's all
that?
right. Double order of nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed during the first period of the podcast, you guys were saying like you want to have it like it's a bus ride.
Yeah.
So if we want to do like a bus ride, when I sit beside you, you should have thrown a fit when I sat next to you.
Let's get into that story.
Yeah.
All right, let's set the stage here. Post game in Rockford. Big win in Rockford.
My first game back.
Yeah, we get it. You scored 2 goals that game. All right. And then we're sitting down. On the way there, it was me and Carson. We sat beside each other. No issues. Just watched our movies. Got to Rockford. Behind us was Topper and Masty. No issues as well. They watched their movies and just hung out.
Yep.
And we should say like the 4 of us we're shooting it a lot the whole way there. There's a lot of talking.
There is a lot of talking.
Between the 4 of us.
Post game, you're chilled out after the game. Kind of want to go to bed after and just watch your movies if you do that. Set the stage, Lamb.
Yeah, so me and Banks were sitting beside each other, and my recliner was broken. So I got on the bus. I was like, you know what? I came here with a broken recliner. Like, I'm going to sit in Masty's spot so I can have a recliner. Like, maybe he'll take the one without. And he was cool about it, obviously, like, super
Did you
chill
ask
guy.
him?
He was cool about it.
He asked him. I was there. He asked him.
Yeah, I think we did actually talk about
We
it.
did talk about it.
Okay.
So we were all on the bus before Topper. Topper gets on the bus. He was like, Lambo, you cannot be sitting next to me right now. You like was so upset to see me sitting beside him, and it was like, dude, what did I do to you?
No, the world was ending. The world was ending.
The world was over.
I think I'm just a man of consistency. We had a great game. I sat next to Masty on the way to the game.
Tell us the real reason why you wanted consistency.
No.
Did you score that game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
Me and Masty have pretty good chemistry. All 4 of us do really, but I just
Blazer alumni.
I don't know. I enjoyed my time with Masty, and it just threw me off. I wouldn't say I threw a fit. It was a quick
Carry
fit.
on.
It
We
was
won't
a quick
say-
fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted it to be the same because I had some things I wanted to chat about with Masty, and it just really threw me off. But we got it all settled out.
Yeah, it was fine. But I will say, like, I don't know. Obviously, you're doing really well right now, and I don't know if it's a thing or not because you like routine, as you just said. Like, does it have to be you versus the world on game days all the time? I feel like you're in the center of a lot of stuff.
I am.
And
Sewer ball,
Yeah.
I'm always in it. Pre-game skate.
You were
for some
yelling at
reason-
me at pregame skate
For
yesterday.
some reason, I'm always in it. I don't know. I think people are always so worried about what I'm doing, and so worried about me, and it just aggravates me. And maybe on game day, I'm trying to stay loose and stay focused, and people are always picking at me, and so maybe it is a little bit of me versus the world feeling, but I think everybody else also gangs up, so it's like that feeling. Like I get that feeling that everybody's ganging up on me.
Yeah, some people definitely draw that sort of banter towards them, and I am in the center of a lot of things too sometimes, so I get it. And then you feel like someone's not even going at you, but it feels like they are no matter what.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Defensive.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was pouring rain in Rockford, and that whatever fire escape, like whatever that was, it was just leaking water on us.
It was raining
Maybe that's
in the
why we
bus
have a new
too.
bus.
It could be, but it was
No.
pouring rain on
It
us.
was raining
inside
in the bus too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well the sunroof might as well have been open in there, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go a little sidetrack. We're gonna go back in the time capsule here. Winnipeg Ice.
Wenatchee Wild, Kootenay Ice,
Yeah,
Winnipeg Ice.
no longer around.
We don't know what they are.
Not an established franchise like the Camas Blazers.
Or Spokane Chiefs.
Yeah.
You're a Blazer. You're not a Chief anymore. Tell us a little bit about that.
No, it was awesome. I mean, for people that don't know, I played my junior in Winnipeg from 16 to 19, and the Winnipeg Ice first year they moved from Kootenay to Winnipeg was when I was 16, and their last year was when I was 19. So the only time the Ice were in Winnipeg was when I was on that team with, some other guys were the same thing. But no, it was good. Playing at home was cool. Getting to spend that time with family and being around my grandparents more than, you guys had to move away, and that's tough. It was awesome. And then having, friends and stuff coming to watch you, and we were pretty darn good too for a few years. We were, we never were able to get the job done in the playoffs, but we had some good teams there and a lot of guys that have moved on to this league and a couple that are in the NHL right now. So it was a pretty special group we had. I love playing at home. Played the Blazers twice in my career.
All right.
Did you live at home?
I lived at home, yeah.
Nice.
Lived at home. Blazers twice, 2-0. So
Did you enjoy the bus in Winnipeg as much as you enjoy the bus?
I actually loved it. We had a bus where
You probably didn't get bullied as much. You might have been the bully.
no, I'm always in the middle of it.
As
You
the
think I get bullied here?
Really?
No.
You bully him?
No, but like, see, this is like that. Everybody
Oh.
against me. Like,
Dude,
I said one thing and now
Yeah,
you're just
well-
harping on me. No, I just meant like older guy in Winnipeg. We've all been there. Some of those 16-year-olds come in and they don't really know the ropes. So I didn't know if you had to.
Yeah, no. When I was 16, I was definitely like drawing a lot of fire. Was probably getting bullied a little bit. I don't know, bully. That's like a powerful word.
Yeah.
But like I was being made. I was in the mix every day.
Yeah.
But then I got older, and I always like give it to the younger guys, but hopefully nothing that anyone is
Traumatized.
is like looking at the room thinking that Lambos guy when I was 16. Like I hope that I didn't leave that effect on anyone. But yeah, it's definitely, me and Banks would say it all the time last year. It's like you're 16 again when you're 20 or 21 in this league. Like you're just like back cleaning the bus and staying on practice last to pick up pucks and all those little things. But no, we had a good group. The older guys, I think, and younger guys got along in Winnipeg, and but yeah, it was fun.
I think it's part of the initiation too. When you're 16, they just want to see how far they can push you.
Yeah.
See what grinds your gears, or if you can. I think they like it when you can give it back to
Yeah.
them a little bit too. So.
But the league's changed.
it's getting soft.
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
soft.
Yeah.
That's the same thing they were saying when I was young.
Yeah.
When I was 16.
Yeah. All the stuff I used to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like.
I don't think they made you like
Yeah.
hung you from a wedgie from the roof like
Yeah.
they say, like just outrageous stories.
Lock you in the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, it is kind of crazy. Same age, we only played each other twice in the West.
Yeah, thanks to COVID and being in opposite divisions, we were like only played each other twice, which was too bad. You guys have a sweet rink. That was fun to play in.
Yeah,
Never
we
played against Winnipeg.
never.
Only Kootenay.
Dude, when I was 16,
Or I guess I should say I never went to Winnipeg.
yeah, we came to
never
you guys.
went to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Winnipeg, that rink was crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say the same thing about our rink that I say about yours. It was
Two separate dressing rooms. Forwards got dressed in one room, D and the goalies in the other, and the stands only went around half the rink.
yeah, it was a barn. It was too bad. Like that was the whole reason that we couldn't. The team couldn't stay there was they just had troubles getting a rink together with. I don't know the logistics, but yeah, that rink wasn't up to the Western League standards, I think, which is why the team had to get out of there.
Yeah, happens.
Yeah,
Things come and go.
yeah.
It's like Topper leaving Spokane to join a real team.
Yep.
The Camas Blazers.
No, I'll tell you what. My time in Spokane was nothing short of greatness.
Oh my God!
No, team.
Oh my God!
Team wise. My 16-year-old year, I think we made the. Where did we make the? I think.
I don't know. I had
second
40
round.
goals. I can't remember what we did.
Yeah.
I scored 40 goals.
No,
Nothing short of greatness.
No, team wise. 17-year-old year, we were good. 18-year-old year, I think we probably would have won the league.
Oh
but
my
every
gosh.
team
Every
said that.
team said that in COVID.
The year COVID hit, we had a good team. 19-year-old year was COVID again. 20-year-old year, we kind of struggled, and that's kind of where I met Caedan Bankier when I got traded to the Kamloops Blazers. A day that probably changed Caedan's life.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And really
For the worst.
No, it changed my life, honestly. We struggled in Spokane that year, and I wanted to get to a better team, and Kamloops is that answer. And playing with those guys in Kamloops, we had a great team, and ultimately probably helped me get a pro contract, which I was always trying to pursue, and Caedan was helps to that. So him and Logan Stankoven were my line mates, and we had a great time when I was there. Man,
that week that we traded for you was pure comedy. We were on a 3-game road trip to the States.
Oh, yeah.
we were in Tri-City on the Friday. We were up 5-0 going into the third. Lost that game.
See, it was life-changing. He knows this
It was
week.
life-changing. But I remember this. I may have got ripped after this Tri-City game. I may have caused a couple turnovers in that third period, so I remember this pretty vividly. They scored 6 unanswered in the third. We lost 6-5. We had maybe the hardest morning skate I've ever done in my entire life in Spokane the next night. And I remember there was a couple guys thinking, oh, great, Toporowski. All he does is he's always chirping. He's always running his mouth in these games, and he's going to be hitting everything. So we're prepared. We're scouting. And then all of a sudden it comes to game time, and Topper is a ghost. He's not saying anything. He's not hitting. He's not doing anything. And we're like, what's his deal tonight? So I forget who it was. Someone looked down the bench, and Topper is like looking at the bench like this, like trying to get our coach's attention, like because he wants out there.
I made eye contact with Sean Clouston, head coach in Kamloops, a handful of times. We were playing some eye tag. I just wanted it to be known that Kamloops was always in the trade talks, and that was kind of a date I had listed or marked on the calendar. So I wanted to be known that I wanted to get traded to Kamloops, and I knew you guys were possibly my future teammates, so I didn't want to cross the line in terms of chirping or hitting or anything like that. So yeah, maybe I took it light that game.
You did take it a bit light, but we killed you guys. I remember that though.
Probably.
We destroyed you guys that game. Next night we're in Portland. And
a classic WHL 3-3.
Oh gosh, the travel in that league. We played in Portland. I don't remember that game. Anyway, the trade got finalized on the bus as we were driving back to camp. But the worst part was the guy that traded was on the bus at that time, so that was kind of tough. But we got Topper. I think you beat us to the rink actually, back to Kamloops. I think you drove after the game. You were so excited to come up.
No.
Yeah, you were there the next day, and then played with you the rest of the season.
Yep. It was good times.
The awkward silence now as we wait for the next segment.
Yep. I have some notes. Oh shoot. This curtain.
Don't get nervous.
So we're on the road right now, obviously, in Grand Rapids. And I think this is a segment this is something I talked about with my Providence teammates the past 2 years I was there. We would always kind of chat about the Atlantic Division, and here we are now with Iowa in the Central Division. I can ask both of you guys this, and I could answer myself. What are your guys' favorite road cities, least favorite road cities, and why? Carson, or maybe just road cities. We don't need to put any.
Obviously my favorite one would be Winnipeg, being home for me.
Yeah.
Getting to play at home. But there's a lot of like good rinks in our division. Like Rockford is like always rowdy in there and it's fun.
And I know we go out west too, so you can talk about
a favorite rink though, I don't know.
Or like food, like
just
city,
everything. I like GR here. GR is like Tim Duncan, all reliable.
Yeah.
You just know what
it's
you're
like
getting.
an ice cream sandwich. You know you're getting every time.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah, good
hotel.
Restaurants
are good hotel.
Because hotel plays a huge part.
Yeah. Yeah, so no.
Hotel.
But no, we get treated pretty good on the road, between hotels and stuff.
So you would say Winnipeg?
Yeah, I love Winnipeg. Just going home and playing on that NHL rink is sweet.
I mean, I didn't play there, but my first road trip last year, when I was still hurt, we went to Hershey, and that was cool. That barn was rocking. It was like a Sunday.
That was a
It was like a
classic that I
Thanksgiving.
played there lots of times with Providence. So
Yeah, that was cool.
That's where they taped the cup on my head.
That's the classic
That was
video.
pretty funny.
That was the Twitter header for the Iowa Wild
Yeah.
for a year, I think.
Basically, like I said, always in the mix. Someone had taped a cup on the top of my helmet, like before practice started. I must have been getting water. I don't know how they got it on there. But I went over to talk to Patty Dwyer just about like my game or like a pretty like serious conversation, not like
yeah, check-in.
But he like kept it together, and everyone was like shooting pucks at me, and so anyways, sorry to interrupt.
A
but
cup,
that's
like a
couple.
Like a paper cup.
like
Oh,
the
paper
paper
cup.
cup.
Like
Yeah.
a Gatorade cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
It stayed on for. Did we get
stayed up during a first warm up drill. It
Yeah.
was on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
back to favorite rink though. I really like San Diego. I like playing there. I like the city. I like everything about it.
Yeah, that's not a bad spot, probably.
I think that was my favorite spot that we played in.
I guess I could answer the question too.
Please.
You guys are in for a treat in Charlotte next week when we go there. That was always a great spot. I like to go when I was in Providence. Toronto was unbelievable when I was in Providence as well. In terms of here, I like going down to Texas. It's nice weather,
Yeah.
great hotel, good fans, good rink, good AHL city. So those would be probably my three favorites. And I'm excited to go out to California. I haven't been since when I played in the Atlantic Division. The travel is kind of different in the AHL. We don't get to go everywhere. So going out west will be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's a fun trip. Good weather.
10 days, or we're out there for a little bit.
Yeah. Start of January
Yeah.
too, which is good timing.
Yeah.
When we get away from some cold weather, we'll be good.
Perfect.
Yep.
I mean, that probably good. I mean, felt like we went for a pretty long time there. All right.
You have to wrap it up. You're the host.
All right. Go ahead. I did the ad read.
Who, me?
Yeah. No, the other host.
Well, you looked at you. Thank you guys for joining us in period 2. We're still not sure what period 3 entails, but yeah, thank you guys, and thank you, Carson, for joining us on your off day.
Thanks for the coffee.
I hope you enjoy your little dessert drink you got there, and we're looking forward to another episode of Ridin the Bus segment blank. We don't know.
Segment blank.
We will take your guys' suggestions and try to come up with a name for the next time we're on the show.
Here is period 3. We know what's going to happen now, and that is you guys are sticking around to wrap up your first show. I got to admit, I got to sit behind the camera for this one. I had a good idea, good vibes of what this was going to look like and sound like. I'm not just blowing smoke. You guys nailed it. That was, I thought, a fantastic interview. There wasn't any of the awkward silence that I know both of you two were very concerned about coming into this show. Yeah, but again, you handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. So bravo to both of you, and welcome to
Maybe
the
this is
podcasting fraternity.
Maybe this is opening post-hockey career doors.
We are in.
Well, and the one thing, too, that you can't manufacture when you're doing something like this with somebody, and it took Joey Goldstein and I a number of episodes to really work it out, and it's clear between you two is chemistry, right? If you have that, it makes things a little easier, because it's really easy to pick out when you just have two guys sitting talking to each other. If they're not jiving, if they're not picking up what the other's putting down, you can tell. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out where I got saying this and I don't know when I jump in. There wasn't any of that. So well done, gentlemen. And
are you saying we are nothing short of greatness?
That was one of my highlights for sure. That was one of the hardest moments to not laugh out loud at.
See, it's me against the world.
Oh, my gosh. Cry me a river.
Don't even let me finish my quote. Just sound bites.
Do you want to finish that soundbite now that I'm back in here to police this?
I tried. They're just a great team. Great great time, great years there. That's all it was. But they thought I was talking about myself because they always flip words and yeah.
No, it's your time. I'll let you talk.
No, that's all it was.
All right.
All right, to finish this thing out, what were the concerns? What were the things that maybe surprised you while you were doing that? Was it maybe good or bad that you didn't expect? Because a lot of times when you're doing something new, you don't know it until you've done it. What do you know now that you have done it, that you've hosted a podcast?
I think for us, like, I don't know if we could have. We probably had the best guest we could have had for a first episode. Pretty outgoing guy. He can carry a conversation. He isn't afraid to give it back to us and stuff. So on that aspect, guest number 2 has got big shoes to fill. But
you got any front runners for who guest number 2 might be? And for fans at home, this is not going to be an every episode thing. As we discussed when Joey left, the plan was to rotate in some hosts. It's not just going to be players. But this segment, whatever we decide to call it, is going to keep happening. You guys might not be with us for period 1 and 3, but you will be with us for period 2, just to make sure everybody's aware of maybe what the process is going to look like moving forward. So with that, I'll step away and deliver to me who you think some of the front runners for guests might be.
I don't know.
We might have to have some auditions, actually.
Yeah. Maybe like a Mikey Milne.
Yeah.
That's another one.
This is just going to be Western Hockey League talk.
We could have Walks. Walks will be good.
Sammy Walker, yeah, he'd be good.
You could get like Gonser.
Having a veteran on would be enjoyable.
A veteran.
Yeah.
He'd have some stories.
Talk about his times in the league and stuff like that.
Not that he's old.
No.
Not that he's old.
No.
But you know what I mean.
It's better hope he doesn't listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's busy today. I actually asked him if he
Yeah.
wanted
Oh, you
to come on.
did?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Carson Lambos was not the first option?
Are you kidding me with that right now?
No, I was just getting a feel for if guys wanted to come on, for in the future. Gonser said he's just busy today.
He's busy today. That would be something. You guys have somebody on before I actually have them on to the podcast that I started.
Yeah.
That'd be something.
That would be
something.
Who hasn't been on the podcast?
Well, this season, a lot of guys, because the roster
So many new
turnover
guys, yeah.
was-
If you-
I think of all the players that are returners, I believe all. I mean, I'm shooting from the hip here, but I think everybody has been on in some capacity. All the guys that were here last year. Yep, we had him on this summer. Yep, he was great. It was right after he won.
I was just thinking of my
Worlds.
roommate.
Yeah, after
Oh,
he won the
yeah, he
Worlds.
won Worlds. Let's get that on.
Yep, and I think the celebration was. I think it was on the second to last day of like their long celebration, and he was late to the interview.
Yeah.
It was great. It was awesome.
Was he still? He looked like he'd been celebrating, or
He looked tired.
yeah.
He looked tired. But it was a very good episode with Spotcho. He did a nice job, and it was nice of him to lend us some time during the middle of obviously a once in a lifetime scenario for him.
Pretty sick.
So yeah, I would say, but obviously Lambos is a repeat guest, so we're not going to pigeonhole you guys to just having to pick people that haven't been on before. So I'm definitely going to let you guys pick your own guests. If you ever need any advice or questions, I'm happy to take them. But based off how that first one went, I don't think I should have anything to say about what the next one's going to look like because I think you guys hit it out of the park.
Felt good. Felt real good.
Yeah, I was a little nervous. Like I said, I'm decent at answering questions. I didn't know how I would be asking somebody questions, kind of leading or co-hosting a show. So, but yeah, it went smoothly, and
You were great.
like we said, thanks to Carson for coming
Yes. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up with a bow?
As soon as we get that podcast name, we're gonna be ready to go. We're gonna be ready to roll. But
So there's your mandate, fans. As if we haven't said it enough, we want to hear feedback. What should we name this segment with Caedan and Luke? What should we name it? We want to know. We'll take your advice.
on. I'm good.
You're good. So are we. Guys, this has been a pleasure. Cannot wait to do it again already. Thanks for allowing us some time here on this practice day. We'll call it what it was.
Yeah.
Based off the conversation you guys had. This was a real treat. Thanks for doing this, and we'll do it again.
let's do it.
I'm excited.
For Caedan Bankier, for Luke Toporowski, for Carson Lambos as well, for so graciously parking some time for us today. And for all of you, thanks for joining us here today, episode 48 of Ridin the Bus, the official Iowa Wild podcast. A thank you as well to Jeremy Core of Executive Podcast Solutions for dispersing this, and of course to our sponsor, Central Iowa Pool and Spa. I'm Ben Gislason. Thanks so much for stopping by. Do you guys know how this podcast closes out?
No.
What does Jeff do after a
Yeah,
win?
veteran.
Like the horn? Like the two?
2 honks for the win.
I got a honk. Honk honk? Like, like what?